Hello everyone, I'm Jean-Claude at BeyondMystic and welcome to this deep woo-woo episode entitled Tarot Reading by Janine. You can find her at Sending Ravens here on YouTube and also at Tarot by Janine. Janine, welcome back.
Hi Jean-Claude, hi everybody. I'm really excited today for some reason, I don't know why.
Me too, the energy is really high and I gotta say, I'm having some Janine withdrawals. It's been so long since I talked to you. I think it was last night at this time. Oh my God.
Was it yesterday that we had like, what, 4 shows together or something?
Yeah, or the day before. Yesterday, I think we had Bryce on at 4 p.m.
Monday. Yeah.
Monday was a big day. Yeah. Well, speaking of that, oh wait, no, we'll get back to that. So hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on this live interactive show tonight. Just want to let you know a big thank you to all of you who donated to the tip jar on Monday. We reached out to Irene to give her a beautiful gift, Janine and I, on behalf of us and you, the audience. And her first reaction was, no, give it to somebody else. So it kind of threw Janine and I for a loop here. And we're like, well, just sleep on it, Irene. We really wanted to do something for you. But at the same time, we'll respect her wishes. So if she wants us to redirect this someplace else, we will, of course, do that. And we'll let you guys know where we put this effort and energy towards. So again, a big thank you to Irene and a big thank you to everyone who were sending her well wishes here. She is back at home, slowly but surely getting better. So of course, if you still want to send her some energy and some love and some healing, please feel free to do so. So again, big thank you to you, Irene. No pressure, just sleep on it and let us know either way. We absolutely support you and adore you, Irene. So big thank you to Irene. Okay, folks, Janine and I are having some fun here in the last couple of days too. We were excited to produce this new type of special investigation report on the pay-per-view and also for the Insider Access Pass. And we thought, we should do like a different look and feel for those. And so we were playing around with some posters and we wanted to get your thoughts here on the live stream. And of course, if you're watching this on replay, let us know in the comments below which of these slides you prefer. So Janine, where do you want me to start with this one?
I do the moon landing one.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, let me bring this one up. And let me bring these little posters out so you can see. There you go. Okay. So the theme here, of course, is Janine's investigations or Janine's special investigation. And of course, subject matter will be for whatever episode we decide here. And so I love this one because Janine looks absolutely fabulous. I love the energy and the sparkle in her eye. And I thought, okay, if I mix up the purple in the background, you see the earth in the background, and then I found the astronaut, I said, okay, that's me in the suit. So what do you guys think about this one?
I love it.
What you think. Yeah, I like this one too. But I originally started when we did the special investigation, seeing as we knew that for a lot of these special investigative reports, we would probably go a little bit on the dark side because these are all the things that, of course, we can't do on YouTube. So I kind of wanted to have a theme that looked a little bit more edgy to the dark side. So let me bring up option number 2 for these investigative reports. What do you guys think about the red? Let us know what you think. Janine, what do you think?
Well, I definitely like the moon landing one.
Yeah?
Yeah. But the red, I get it. It matches my lipsticks, kind of fun.
I like the moon landing one too.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And it's kind of cool. It's like removing yourself from Earth and looking back at Earth at the big picture. Yeah. So that's a lot of what you and I do when we do these shows. So I like the moon landing too. What do you guys think in the chat? Let us know. What's that?
You're going into strange territory, uncharted territory. That's kind of the way I was seeing it. Because I personally that I know of, I've never been to the moon. I mean, I maybe did, but not that I remember.
Mm-hmm. Nowadays, everybody by far in the chat is saying moon landing, no red. They don't want the red. Okay. Maybe we'll save the red for when the red shoes and the red things come out officially. We'll do a red show just for that. Yeah. But anyways, okay. So I think the moon landing is it is. The audience has spoken, Janine. So, okay. So, folks, starting next week, when we produce these investigative reports, of course, we already produced 2 of those this week. We'll get to that in a moment. We didn't have these posters ready for that. But starting next week, we'll be using these posters. So you'll be able to differentiate when you're on the pay-per-view which type of episodes are which here. So, okay. So moving next week for that. Now, next week also, for the live shows here on YouTube, we're also changing the look and feel. Janine, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, that's total nothing like I'm not trying to brag or anything, but that's a great picture.
I love it too. It's really cool.
I like
It's very eye popping compared to the one we have now. Wait, let me
yeah,
do the
yeah,
comparison. Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Nobody likes that one. I like my true age in that one.
You look a lot younger in this one. You're right,
Yeah, yeah.
actually, and
That's
you look more. Well, it's not the word sassy, but you're still like you're serious. You have that look that you're about to bitch slap us with something. I love it.
I think the other one, for some reason, there's a sadness to it.
That's true. I had a few
Feel
people
like a
email
sad,
us with that.
yeah,
Yeah.
almost like it's compassionate, but there's a sort of a mood there that's a bit sad. So we don't want to do that.
We don't want to do that.
We're
No.
trying to be keeping the vibe high because we need to be high or at least intense. And we're talking about serious things. And yeah, I think
Yeah.
this one's better.
Yeah. Here you have your game face on. You're like,
Yeah,
come
yeah.
on. Yeah. I love this one.
That's it. Yeah.
So what do you think, guys? Does the red work? Do you guys like this one? Yeah, that one. Lots of hearts. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay, cool. Well, thank you guys for participating here as Janine and I use a little bit of our creative side here to improve our delivery mechanisms for you guys and add some production value for you guys. All right. So Irene posters we did. What else do we have? What is this? Strategies. Why do I have strategies on? What's that about? Janine, I forgot something here. You know?
No
What am I
idea.
talking? What did we talk about strategies?
I know strategies going forward. We're going to need strategies going forward to deal with all the shortages coming up.
Actually, that's it. Yes, shortages. Okay, so keep going. Set that up for the audience here. And of course, we just did the big special investigation on shortages a couple of days ago. And now, of course, we were 2 days before mainstream. Now mainstream is talking about it almost exactly verbatim what you and I were pulling from the cards there a couple of days ago. Okay, set that up and I'll bring the poster up for the audience here.
They must have watched the special report.
Right.
Yeah. Well, of course, all of these things that have been almost like put in place over the last couple of years, sort of from every angle, it's creating potential. Well, it already has created shortages, including car parts, including you can't get your windows. You ordered them in March. Like we're going to start seeing where things we order don't come, get canceled. Anything coming from China is going to be interesting going forward. All the cheap parts we've been getting, and because of the cheap labor in China, which, by the way, I don't think we should be supporting those kind of operations. But anyway, we'll get to that. We're going to have to change going forward. This is part of the that saying that says not everybody's going to like how this movie ends. The movie ends with we have to recreate our whole way of living. We are not everything's just going to be instant. We're probably going to let go of a lot of the fast food joints. Nobody's going to go there anymore when everything comes out about. I mean, already people watching our deep dive Fridays probably can never visit, the MacDs anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because gross, right? And so many things, unless they get taken over and recreated, are going to get dropped. Hollywood's been dropped the old way. Okay, a lot of the old stars aren't going to be considered stars. Nobody's going to want to have monarchs anymore. Like going forward, there's a whole lot of things that are going to have to change. And that includes like our communities are going to have to learn to fix things instead of just go buy a new thing every time. We're going to have to make things last again for a few years till we catch up to locally making things instead of going elsewhere. Okay, so that whole thing where it gets more global is, I think, got to get pulled right in. Let's get more local. And when I was channeling all of those passed over people from the past, like I can't remember past presidents and past famous people from the past, every one of them, their spirit selves, because that's what you channel. You don't channel their ego, by the way. Whoever they were that lifetime, you channel their souls. So yeah, it's an interesting thing when you channel somebody. But every one of them said, we need to hang on to our sovereignty. Say that word.
Sovereignty.
And we need to remember to be more resourceful, local, and come in smaller communities. Every one of them said that. It was the weirdest thing. It was the theme was take care of your freedoms and think locally, basically. I'm making it,
Right.
more.
Well, what's interesting today too, of course, we're in the week, or we're approaching the week where Cliff High was talking about this media casualty, and we were wondering how this casualty would come. And apparently it might come with reality rearing its ugly head. And again, he often says you can ignore reality, but you can't ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. So a lot of this now is coming to the forefront. And tonight, we're going to show you a lot of examples of that, not just on the shortages. But here, this is a U.S. Lawmaker saying that, yes, now officially admitting that the supply chain could last, he calls it nightmares, could last several years. And what Cliff was looking at in his WebBot data and from the old data sets and what he's seeing now is, yeah, if we're adults about it and we actually talk about it sooner than later, as opposed to ignoring it, maybe 18 years before we recapture all of our manufacturing base, devolve all of the homegrown gardens and all these things back to the local communities, back to the local house and the farm and all that. But we need to talk about it, and we need to be adults as opposed to pretend that it's not actually happening. So that was one. And the other one, even today on this note, let me see if we can bring this one back up. Biden also now admitting to this, and he's asking FedEx, UPS, Walmart to ramp up production to deal with these shortages. I'm like, well, Walmart doesn't do any production. So it's kind of like, no, they're getting it from China. So so again, you could just see this senile person here with these arguments. But the point is, if you read between the lines, we've got some supply chain issue management problems right now, and they're about to get a lot worse. And you and I with Bryce, it was yesterday, she was saying that, I believe it was in Atlanta somewhere, that some of the managers from the local public stores were removing the carts so that the patrons could not use carts to do their shoppings. They can only use the hand baskets. And when they were asked why, they said, oh, we're trying to avoid people hoarding. So it's like they also know, they're hearing from the top, from their management, that something is happening here with supply. So again, folks, we did a whole hour show on this. Please do go check it out. It is the second of our special investigative reports, and it's called Supply Shortages. And that is, let me bring the actual link down, episode number 27. And it was launched to the public early this morning. So there you go. The link is now in the chat. And of course, the Insider Access Pass members had access to this a couple of days ago when we recorded it. Okay, Janine, let's go back to this specific question, though. Can we avert the main issues here? Because you just mentioned my Windows. So yeah, I ordered Windows in March, and I just heard today that not only do they not have the Windows, they're 2 months late now on their contract, they don't have the materials to produce the Windows yet in store. So you're like, well, we can't give you a date, sir, until we get the stuff, and then we actually have to make them, and then we have to install them. Like, bitch, winter's here. Like, you guys are already 2 months late, and you're calling me to give me an answer, but that's a non-answer. And she was kind of like frustrated that I wasn't taking that. I'm like, well, no. Anyways, don't get me started. I'm a little bit pissed off on that one today. And again, I've been emailing them for 2 months to get updates, and none of them bothered to tell me that they were facing supply chain management issues. Now they're admitting to it.
Yeah, they're in denial. I think they're in denial. It's like people are not realizing we're in a world war, and so many people have no clue. No clue. It's absurd.
Yeah. Absurd. Yeah. And we're gonna get through this together. Everybody laughs at me for saying that way. Okay. We're just having fun with ourselves here, guys. So don't worry. And please, yes, you can laugh at my accent. It's okay. So let's go back on this supply chain management issue here. Is it possible, as Cliff is saying here, that it could take up to 18 years here for North America to really rejig, fire up manufacturing, and get us back in front of the curveball here? And again, I don't want to go into too much of the details here, but we are fighting with another group of humans who are off-world for a lot of these resources. And again, you'll find that in that special episode, and that's absolutely mind-boggling. But is it possible here that perhaps through that rapprochement that we can shave some years down here from that 18 years? What do the cards have to say?
Yeah, I think it's still up in the air how many years. It could be a long time. And that'll be if everybody falls into fear and doesn't just see it as an opportunity, right? We got to look at things like that as an opportunity. I mean, when I lived in the Haida Gwaii, I mean, we just took our clothes and added really cool things to them and turned them into our different next year's clothes. And do you know what I mean? I know it sounds like we just did hippie things to our clothes, and we were the best dressed people on the island, let me tell you, in our opinion, maybe not in anybody else's opinion, right? There's ways to do it. We've gotten in the habit of, you go to the mall, get a whole new outfit every couple of weeks if you can afford it, and like cheap throwaway clothes. You can buy t-shirts for like really, $15 and stuff. That might not be the way in the future. We might need to be a little more precious with our things, which I don't know if that would be a bad thing. But it's saying, yeah, it could take a really long time if we get into fear and start resisting changing the lifestyle. But if we actually do things differently and take it as an opportunity to be creative and grow, and kind of like do things. This guy's really creative, especially when he's with the Queen of Wands. Okay, so they're both super creative together, and not sort of try to stay in the past for the way things were. And like every single season, we got a whole new outfit. I mean, that's not everybody. Obviously, not everybody can afford that, but a lot of people do. Okay, a lot of people do. They find a way to do it. Okay, but I got a feeling that's all going to change, and we're going to have to get a little more creative with, and a little more local about how we produce, and think not big store chains, small mom and pops again. Exactly who they were trying to take out, by the way, with this whole thing they've been doing for the last 18, 20 months. Taking out the middle class, anybody who had the nerve to actually start their own business and run it. Okay, they're running those people into the ground. Those are the people that I think are going to thrive in the future. If they're brave enough to start something up, start making your own clothing with local stuff, start doing things locally, learn how to do things again, right? Like, and make a business out of it. You're going to be, entrepreneurs are going to be the new healers, because nobody's going to trust the healthcare system that they've shown themselves to be literally deep state. So healers and all naturopathy, everything they tried to repress is going to actually come up and be a force to be reckoned with. Psychics are going to be the new news. And people
Janine, the news anchor.
Yeah, right. And Jean-Claude, the news anchor, right? Like different, like who used to be considered conspiracy theories are going to be theorists are going to be like considered people in the know. So everybody that was put down by the deep state dark cult because they were dangerous comes rising up. That's always what happened. You repress something, and guess what? It comes up and bites you right in the you know what.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, so opportunities, not fear. Make a way. Again, this was in the Webbot data that we would make a way. So there would be groups of people, collectives of people, just basically supplanting local governments and all that, and just, okay, let's get together, let's build this road, let's get together, let's build this community farm for everyone. Like we need to make a way. But again, what Cliff was alluding to here, we need to be adults and have the conversation and actually admit that we have a problem, as opposed to put our blinders on and pretend everything's okay, which still a big portion of the population is doing. Janine, if you and I were going to have fun, I think we should probably do a skit, and I'll do the Ron Burgundy and you could be the Janine Corningstone.
Oh, I would love that, because that would mean you'd be actually sitting next to me, okay, instead of this on the screen thing, which would be really fun, because that means we get to travel.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. Folks, do you guys want Janine and I to do a skit? Put it in the chat now. Oh my God. As soon as we're allowed to travel, it would be so funny. And I'll put a big fat mustache on. And it would be so funny.
I love it.
Oh my God. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not dyeing my hair blonde though. No, it's not going to happen.
Okay. I did a few skits on this already last year with Jenny Moonstone. So it was Jenny Corningstone and Ron Burgundy. I was doing the Ron Burgundy. Anyways, it was funny. If I find those clips, they were deleted by YouTube, but I'll put them back because they were funny as hell. Okay. Ron Burgundy. Okay, folks. Oh, man. We're all giddy tonight. Okay. Okay, let me start here. So we're switching gears. We're going to talk about Canada a little bit here. And again, the fact that reality is creeping into the news here. So here in Canada, two things on my radar today. There's a lot of things, but the ones that really that I paid attention to was one, Canada Post. So our mail service now has announced here today, and you're going to be hard pressed to find it in mainstream news, but it is, of course, true. So you can go look at the press release from Canada Post, but very few media outlets are actually talking about it. But essentially what they did as a Crown Corporation is decide that the Postal Service can have or can opt out of the mandate, and they can use just testing instead, which is big effing news because the federal government here is hell-bent on getting everybody into the mandate by the end of the month. I believe it's the 29th of October is their dead date. And so now to have a Crown Corporation say, no, actually, we're not doing that, that's big news. And again, it's not making the 6 o'clock news, but if you go look for it, you'll find it. And two, the RCMP's union, so the RCMP would be the equivalent of your FBI in the States, I guess. They're also saying that they are going to protect their union members against this mandate. So this is cracking really fast. And now on top of those two news, just before I went live here today, the Quebec government now is backtracking. And you know how you and I have a big gripe with all these posters who keep telling us the majority of Canadians agree. And I'm like, yeah, well, which ones are they talking about? Here we just found out there's over 22,000 healthcare workers in the province that said a big F you, we're walking out if you force us to take the thing. And so now the government has just announced that they're pushing back a month the deadline, as if that's going to change the mind of 22,000 people who've already called their bluff, essentially. So that's big news, guys. We're seeing this crumbling here before our eyes. My question for the cards here, what the hell is Legault all about here? Is he pushing back a month because they think they can introduce some other legal measures to force these people? Or is he simply delaying his capitulation and his admittance that they've actually failed here and that the government is absolutely weak?
If you saw my tarot by Janine today, you'd know the answer to that.
God damn it. I don't have time to watch all your stuff every time. You put out too much stuff, Janine. Wait, on Tarot by Janine?
Just bugging you. Yeah.
Okay.
Today, I looked at all three, these big world governments, and I literally did a zodiac spread, which it was really fun to do. I got to tell you, it was brilliantly, like it really showed what the heck was going on. It was like we looked at the governments.
Okay.
The ones that say they're real, because I believe they've all capitulated, but you guys know that's what I think, right? Because I get that all the time. So I just wanted to do a zodiac to make sure I'm getting that right, because that zodiac spread looks at every angle of what we call the government as if it was a person. Do you know what I mean? So we look at the ego of it. In other words, how it presents to the public, the relationship it has with the public, blah, 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 all these details. And it was brilliant. The Canadian one was hands down. They've already, they're not even in, they don't even exist anymore. The card reading already assumed that the demonic government was already gone because the world card was across from the devil. And then everything else looked brilliant. Like we were going to rebuild, even within the next year, it's going to look a lot better. So I know it's going to take years and years, but I think this will be fun, you guys. Call me crazy, but the most fun I ever had. Oh, good one. Get me with my mouth wide open.
Oops, there you go.
Okay, all right. Yeah, thank you. The most fun I ever had. I'm sure they have a lot of fun with that, my enemies. But the most fun I ever had in my whole life, in the best years of my life, were the poorest, literally. And I'm not, like I say, abundance is great. And I earned the right to have abundance by working on all my issues around it. Martyrdom and stuff is not. The universe doesn't want you to be a martyr, by the way, and never have abundance. The universe is abundant, but everyone needs to be abundant, and we need to share it when we have it. Okay, and we need to do it because we're doing it, and get to it from giving and service to others. But also doesn't mean don't have yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. So that I had to learn that the hard way. But when I did not have, and I had to be really creative, like we're all going to have to be, it looks like, guess what? Best years of my life. I had the best community. I had the most fun social life of, I don't even have a social life for the last 2 years. Okay. Other than online, which is awesome. Okay. But that not a real social life, literally. I had the best social life of my whole life. We all came together. I needed my wood chopped. I would ask some of the biggest, strongest people in the hood, in the neighborhood I was living. I'd just go around asking and say, if you want to chop wood, I'll do. What do you need? Your cards read? I can do, or I'll do a zodiac spread on you. I'll look at your relationship, whatever you want. Or I would cook curry if they weren't into stuff like that. So if I would get them through their stomachs. So curry, give them a beer.
Very good. Well, folks, I put the link in the chat, so go check out that video. It is entitled Deep Read Zodiac Spreads on DS Madness and Bad Props Falling. Yeah, a lot of that happening. Okay, so let's look at Legault himself. Do you want to maybe just pull the card to see, is he just delaying the inevitable? Is he being asked to delay the inevitable so that people don't notice yet that this narrative is crumbling? Does he have another sleeve up his, an ace up his sleeve where he thinks he can force more people here in a month given time? What's going on with Legault?
So,
ending.
They're already gone. That was in the past. That's in the present. So 10's endings. So the whole thing's a narrative. So here's what's actually going on. These two cards. So this is, they're getting ready. It looks like they're gearing up for the positive army military. I think the military runs the country I think what I call the alliance. And I think they're mostly military sort of based. And not all military is good. I'm not saying that, but there are these groups put in place all over the world in the capitulated governments. That's what I've been getting for a couple of years now. So this looks like, so it's a delay on, so while the military, I think eventually this month, it's been coming for a long time, but I think there's going to be some kind of moment when it becomes really clear to the world who's really running things. And it's going to happen, I think, in Red October.
I agree. I should bring up that red poster again. Okay, let me get a PayPal tip jar question in here. Okay, first of all, I think Candice, let me see here. Can I zoom this on the screen so you guys can see? Oh, wait, how come this is not coming up? There you go. Janine and JC, love you both. Today is my birthday. Happy birthday, Candice Key. I'm an empath and I have a strong connection with my guides through the numbers, but I still have no clue about my life purpose. There's two questions there. We're going to choose one of the two. The other one is, will my hubby and I's financial investment pay off? And if so, when? You want to do the first one on the life purpose? We'll do that one. Guys, please, go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
It's funny because she basically spells out her life purpose and then says she has no idea about her life purpose. I find that humorous. If she was in my reading room, I'd give her like a Janine verbal spanking for that.
I know. It is. I get it.
You're obviously a light worker. That I don't even need the cards for that. But so let's move to the next question. Honestly,
okay. Let's talk about her finance. So yes, do the light work, Candice.
She's absolutely a light worker, and she spelled it out right there. She literally said it. So just own it. Just own it, honey.
I think what she's saying is she hears her guides, but what's happening is she's not listening to her guides. So that's the distinction. She's hearing them, she's not listening. So Candice, just actually listen and you'll get it. Just slow down everything, you'll get it. Okay, so let's do the finance part. Her and her husband, presumably here, have made some investment to try to get out of harm's way here as we're looking at this hyperinflation. We're going to talk about that later today. Will that pay off and when?
They made some wise decisions. They had some breakthroughs and did some really good action because this card was in the middle of those. So that's moving out of troubled water. So they're moving themselves out of past, maybe not having and into having. And within early in the new year, even by April, I would say they had a really big positive. Yeah, they're going to do really good by April, I think. So yes, it's going to turn out, and even early in the new year.
Okay. Well, all good things for Candice, and happy birthday, Candice. Okay, next one, Susan Jones. Love you both. Your shows keep me sane. Ooh, I get that so many times, like almost every day in the thousands of email I scan. So first of all, guys, thank you for all the emails. I cannot, of course, respond to everyone, but I do read as many as I possibly can, and of course, I do the customer support emails. I can't get away from those. But thank you for all your emails, and a lot of you tell us that these shows make you sane and help you wake up and understand the world and keep chugging along here in this spiritual war. So a big thank you for all those emails, because it makes Janine and I stronger, and it gives us energy to continue doing what we're doing too, because we get a lot of good emails, but we also get some weird emails sometimes, which get to us. We're also humans. So when we get all those positive emails, guys, it really helps out. Okay. Keeps me saying, Janine, will I finally be able to start my holistic healing practice? People are so indoctrinated with Western healing practices. Susan Jones. So are we about to see that shift here also because of the narrative changing over?
Yeah. So we did. Yeah, we talked about that, and maybe she wrote that before she heard that. But for her personally, so ending. So that's ending. So the people resisting is ending, and really soon actually, because there's a 10 here, and this is people staying stuck in a narrative, because that's mental thoughts and words are keeping this person stuck, and that's the only thing keeping them stuck. They could easily get out of that little tie that's around them. Right. So yes. So yes, absolutely. Okay. Because all of that's changing with all the changes happening right now are going to work to the advantage of all the natural path. And if you're meant to do it, you'll attract the people. That's how it works. People that are, if you're doing it for the right reason and you got your heart in it, you're going to be good at it. Like I was 100% in when I started as a reader, and it took me a year to build up enough clientele to actually do it as a full-time work. I had to do it on the side for at least a year after studying it for many years. But so you have to put the work in. It's not just an overnight sensation, but it's absolutely, I feel like she could even end up being such an expert in her field. It probably already is likely 3/4 the way there, because this is the near future outcome, which is now she's teaching it to others and has a center that teaches others, like her own university of naturopathy or whatever it is, healing arts that she's involved in. They're the next big thing, the healing arts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also a lot of this new technology is going to come out. It's a completely new world. And Cliff was saying something today too. He says, "Yeah, for now, I think we're just over this hump. We're going to go through this weird time, and then we'll boot over again in sci-fi world, and we're almost there." So he's excited, like a kid in a candy store or a kid like Christmas, and he says, "Not yet, but almost. We'll be able to open our presents here." So there's a lot of good stuff. Yeah. Jason Sexton, I love this question. Check this out, Janine. I would like to ask Universe if my crypto and precious metals investments are sufficient to help, and him, my sleeping normie family members to get through 2022. Thank you both for all you do. Thank you, Jason, for that donation. You guys are amazing. I find a lot of people who watch this show who are into cryptos. They're not into Lamborghinis and hookers and booze. This is why they're in there. So thank you, Jason. I appreciate that sentiment for sure.
I think there's abundance there for even longer than that. I think he's underestimating. This is a huge abundance card. And this card here is because, and when it's well aspected, this card is one of the best male cards, but when it's badly aspected, it's one of the sleaziest and bad newsers, right? I'm always talking about this is usually a bad guy, but he's so well aspected with this card. So because this person is doing things from their heart, because the King of Cups is very connected to their emotions and heart, and their whole reason for investing was a heartfelt to look after others. I mean, that's not the only reason he's going to do well. It's because I guess he must have chose wisely in the crypto. Okay. So yes, he's going to, and even longer than I think it could extend past 2022. Like, I think he's underestimating how well he's going to do.
Okay, very good. I saw in the stream chat earlier, and guys, it's running really fast. So maybe the moderators can help me find it, or the person who typed the question, but they were talking about a big boom, I believe in Southampton's or New Hampshire or something like that. Put that question back in, guys, because I do want to ask Janine about that. I saw that too, and I was curious about that, if it was also related to what we were seeing down under. So please, guys, in the main chat here, please ask that again. And folks, if you are in the Insider Access group members, don't forget you also have access to this Discord invite button, which brings you to another live chat for the Insider Access Pass members. So if you guys have any questions for Janine, please do put those into the queue now, and I will try to pick as many as I can there as well here tonight. Janine, going back to, let me see here if I can find this last news article here I saw earlier today. This one's a little bit darker, but I think we still need to talk about it. As adults, you and I and Catherine, we've talked about having to deal perhaps with some of the families and loved ones whose soul contracts have made the determination or the decision to leave using the method at hand right now. So we are talking about perhaps still a great portion of the population leaving. Now, let me read this quote from Cliff. This was from earlier today. The powers that be maintain the fiction that the things are good for people so that their proxy people can continue to other people. Okay. It's hard to go through here, but anyways, you guys understand what we're saying. But he says that will only work because what he's seeing right now in his data also until November/December, when the great part of the great die-off begins in earnest. So he was seeing this in his data. He's been seeing this for 20 years since he did the first run on the sun disease and the 1.2 billion leaving the planet. Now, let's ask the question now. You and I have we've looked at this before. We thought it wasn't going to be as big as originally anticipated. Let's maybe revisit that now, because again, this is a moving target and the enemy is pushing every day also to try to reach their objectives. So where are we on that today? And to add to the list also, Martin Armstrong and his predictive computer, so I forget the name of it, but he's also projecting big die-offs in the spring of 2022. That's where the most of it is happening. And he's been really uncanny for the last 20 or 30 years also with his predictions. So hard to ignore these people.
Well, with this in the past, surrender to, so certainly some of that's in the works. So in the past, surrender to, that's a big possibility, what they're saying. This is in the present situation. There's really unique things, though. This could even be exotic and unique kind of cures and things that make it a moving target where the numbers could really drastically change, because the magician, if we use our magic, we could really change the numbers. We're going to have to really catch up to. So people have to do their spiritual work and want to heal themselves. If they do face these, if they've already done the, twice and they got the bad batches, which there's maybe every time they put it out, there's more and more of them is what they're saying.
Yep.
I don't know if that's true, but it looks like there's movability with those numbers they're talking about. It doesn't look set in stone, by the way, that there's going to be that mass thing you're talking about, leaving the earth plane. Okay, so this card here is interesting. So we've got the Queen of Swords. So the quicker people wake up, even if they've had that, they've agreed to do that, okay, the quicker they wake up and either don't carry on with the continued program of it, starting with the B, right? So don't get those, and don't, because they say that the more of that you do, the more chance. So maybe what they were picking up on when they were looking at that was the agenda when they looked at it, that was all planned. Maybe what they weren't picking up was in the background, the white hats, the alliance working their best on, because that could be part of this magician. Some really unique things have happened in the meantime in the background that could change that narrative. So I'm thinking take it down, because this card here says 3/4 of the people that did do that could still be solid in health. Like, so there's a lot of opportunity for that to change is what I'm getting.
Okay.
But it'll take awareness. It'll take like diligence, boundaries, people to say no to the further treatments. Do you know what I mean? Because they're going to, a whole bunch of things kind of screwed up is what I think.
Yeah.
Where nothing they did was to the extent they wanted it to. But these people predicting could have predicted the intention. Because even
yes, and to be clear, some of these models predict the language, not necessarily the event themselves.
Right.
So we might see the language of that in the news saying that it could have been these numbers, right? So we don't know. At any rate, there's still many psychics are seeing too. It's not just the predictive linguistic guys, but they're seeing a lot of souls exiting at this time too. So we are going to have to deal with a portion of that. And Janine and I just want to share, I guess, our heartfelt encouragement with those family members who are going to be staying behind to try to fix all this and hold the families together when some of these people actually move in this period of time here. So we know that is still part of it, but hopefully not as bad as some of these numbers were predicting. Okay, in the Insider Access Pass, Kiki222 says, I can't wait to see you two doing a skit of Ron Jeremy and Veronica Corningstone. And says, Janine, 2 words, blonde wig. Haha. So you don't have to dye your hair. So that's a good idea. Thank you, Kiki. That's funny. Okay, Kim, also for the Insider, she has a question. She says, love you, Jason, Janine. Okay, I believe based on the visions that I have had, past lives ties to the dumbs. So this is in relation to the conversation we had, I believe, with Tamara. And she says, am I correct? Am I on the correct path with my education for my soul journey? And should I be shifting my thought process to be using this education to aid in healing those rescued from the dumbs? That is from Kim.
So she's been on the right path. Her path's about to change because of the changing times. It's her destiny to get involved because of her past. So she has the ability to help others because of her past. That's why a lot of people over the 35 years I read had issues around abuse. And I won't say the S word that goes in front of that because, I don't know if the algorithms don't like that word or whatever. But I attracted a lot of people, not all of my clients, obviously, but a whole lot of them had some issues with abuse and even like SRA abuse, but we wouldn't have known to call it that when I was talking about it with them. But long extended years of abuse and stuff, I attracted a whole group of clientele like that. So, and it's because I was in the tunnels and I went through that. And any kind of narcissistic relationship stuff, I was attracting those kind of clients because obviously if you've been in those kind of lifetimes. And anyway, I think everybody who's fighting this fight's been in some, we've been abused by this bunch for lifetime. So we've all taken turns at their hands in some way that's been difficult. And that's why we're fighting the fight. So yeah, she absolutely is going to be getting in the fight here. And she's going to do it in a really practical way. Like we don't have to be like healing the whole world or anything. Even just if somebody comes to you and you let them talk about their issues and you see them as humans and don't discount their, just even having somebody to talk to about it, right, can be very healing and non-judgmental and not feeling sorry for them. Actually feeling sorry for somebody can be very disempowering.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Like a healer holds the wisdom, but has detachment and is compassionate, but knows that they're going to become stronger for the experience. And we all go through those experiences. So sitting around and feeling sorry for is like a huge waste of everybody's time.
Yeah.
And disempowering, frankly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, was it Kim? Kim, welcome to the team. So thank you. All right, I appreciate that. Okay, on a quick note, housekeeping, guys, Janine and I extended this coupon code, Stay Connected. So you still have a chance here to get 10% off of this yearly Insider Access Pass to have access to all of the pay-per-views and before everybody else. And on top of that, for tonight, seeing as Irene is still on the mend and we don't have a pyramid to give away, I am giving away one of those yearly Insider Access Pass. So that's a $240 value, and that will go to one of those lucky tip jar donators tonight. So thank you so much, everyone, for the generosity. You do absolutely make a big difference. Of course, this channel is demonetized, as you know, and it's been deleted quite a few times. And so on that note, if you're here, and if you're watching on Tarot by Janine, please come over here on our third backup channel here and hit that subscribe button. We're at 42,500 and rebuilding that community that was lost from the last deletion here just a couple of months ago. So a big appreciation for all of you guys subbing and sharing our content with everyone. Okay, next item. Let me go back here. Okay, I thought this was funny that this was coming up in the news today. Of course, last year when the laptops came out, we had all of this information. The media told us, no, that can't be verified. We didn't want to hear any of that during the election. And now all this shit, of course, is coming up. You know, if you guys look and just scratch a little bit, you'll find everything that's in this laptop. But this one was funny. They were sharing a bank account, father and son, and paying each other's bills, including a $25,000 prostitute. So I was like, okay, why is this in the news today, Janine? What's going on for this to be making the rounds? I thought it was hilarious.
Wow. I think they're getting trolled by the good guys, frankly. Yeah.
Wow.
They're just getting trolled. Yeah. Let's have a look, though, just for fun.
Okay. Because this is going to tie into the level of people waking up, right? Because the next question here is whether or not people are going to start viewing themselves or each other's as enemies and realizing that the powers that be and our governments are really the enemies here in this whole fight. We'll get to this executive order next here, but let's look at this one first.
So I think they're getting trolled. I think it's a creative way to gear everybody up for the shock of these guys going to be in tribunals. So this is like legal stuff coming their way. I think they're just gearing up for the shock of what's really going to come out about those guys. They're just having fun with them. They're just having fun because it's going to get a lot worse and it won't be funny.
You know, it's like a cat that's playing with a mouse just before it kills the mouse. You know, that's what it feels like with these guys.
Yeah.
They're being fucked with. Okay. All right. Oh, wait. Okay. Before I get to this executive order, somebody's put the question back in the. Okay. So thank you. I'm not sure if it was the original questioner, but I have it. JC, question for Janine. On Sunday, there was supposedly a big boom heard in southern New Hampshire. Okay. That's what it was. By over 40 cities. Local news say it was an earthquake or military jet. What do the cards say? Curious about that one myself. Thank you, Thelma Grace. Thank you.
Did you hear that too, Jean-Claude?
I saw emails. So somebody emailed me this a couple of times in the last couple of days. I'm like, oh, yes, I have to remember to ask Janine.
I think it had something to do with the tunnels. It had something to do with things secretly and being so a long effort to clean up because this guy can be really messy and into really nefarious things. Okay, so cleaning up, so a long drawn out effort but it's almost nearing the end. So I guess they had a few things to kind of blow up or use some kind of equipment that would make that kind of a boom. Yeah, they were clearing something out, it looks like.
Okay. It's what it feels like to me too. Okay. Somebody in the chat, hey, GC, how do I join? I'm assuming they're talking about the Insider Access Pass here. Okay. If you go to beyondmystic.net/pay-per-view, there you'll see the first item in the product list here. There's quite a few already, but what you're looking for is this Insider Access Pass. So if you click on that, and then if you use the coupon code stay connected here, this is where you'll get the 10% off and you get immediate access to the full library there. Okay. Next question. So that was the okay, we got that one with the boom. What was the other one? I thought I saw another quick one go by here. Was it Mike? Mike is saying something. I can't see Janine's channel, but I'll try to let him know. What's going on? Is there something wrong with your channel on the live stream, Janine? What's going on? Seems to be some confusion there.
I don't know.
No, it seems like you're running fine.
But I don't know.
No, guys. Okay, I'm not sure, guys, what you're talking about. Okay. Okay. Yes. Let me go back here to this executive order. That was the next part here. Okay. So this whole idea. So yes, they're playing cat and mouse here with the Bidens. Here, Janine says, "I love you, Jean-Claude." Okay, love you too. Me and Janine. So thank you, Jenny, Alicia. I love you too. Okay. This executive order. So this was 1933, I believe, when they confiscated gold from the population, and now we might be coming to this type of decision from the government too. We're seeing now, and you and I have done a lot of shows in the last month on the financial system and what's happening, including the last deep dive we just did on the quantum financial system. And folks, if you want to see that, that was episode 26, I believe it was. Yeah, episode 26. Are we close to in a moment now where the government might try to pull off something like this again? A big yes.
As if we're going to let them.
Yeah.
Everything you know about those scumbags. No way.
Right.
Yeah, they're absolutely going to try to pull it. You bet. Like really soon, actually.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck.
Again, we're not where we were in 1933, where everybody trusted in government and all this stuff. Like it's the opposite way.
Yeah. Don't forget, they're also coming after the pow-pows, as Michael Jaco likes to call them.
Yeah.
So what is that, the Second Amendment in the U.S.?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're coming after those too. It's like, I don't think they're going to be met with,
wow,
happily obedience or anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Janine, we are, what are we? 50 minutes, 51 minutes. Okay, we can do a few more questions. What do you think? Did you have anything today too that you wanted to add to the list? We did the Canada Post, RCMP, shortages. We talked about the posters. Was there anything else or any other shows you did maybe with Catherine you wanted to talk about before we go? Or
do you want me to Catherine and I, we did a great show. That was this morning. And so go have a look at that. I put it up on Twitter. I shared it, and usually I share it on my community page, but I haven't got around to doing that yet, but I'll do that for sure. But Catherine Edwards' page, if you go to her YouTube and give her a, subscribe to her channel if you haven't already. Yeah, we want to grow her channel there. She's doing great work. She's bringing really great guests. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's always funny to see. It's always funny to see myself because I usually don't put myself in the posters on my show. It's all about my guests. But when I go to her channel, she puts me on her posters. Yeah, so thank you, Catherine. I appreciate that. Oh, great. So this is the episode here from October 13. Let me bring that one down to the chat for you guys as well to go check that out. And please, yes, do go and subscribe here to Catherine's beautiful channel. Okay, let me see if I can grab another question quickly from the PayPal tip jar. And then we could probably pull some cards for the collective here to navigate, I guess, the next 7 days here to bring us up to maybe next Monday at the very least for our next shows. So let me see. If I can pick this one quickly. Thank you both. Jody, thank you, but there's no question. Thank you, Jody. Sheila, I love you both very much. I like this. Okay. Wayward, adult children in mind. Wait, Valerie, hold on. Sorry, guys, it kind of like left my screen really quick, and I'm trying to find where I was. Okay. Arlene, let me see if I can bring this. Arlene Ober. Hold on. Let's see if I can zoom this in the middle for you guys. Okay, there you go. You and Janine have become my latest addiction. Okay, in a good way. In a good way. But one that I can live with. All right. Thank you all for your do. Oh, but Arlene, you don't have a question. Okay, let's ask Universe what Arlene needs to know right now. So thank you, Arlene, for that beautiful comment and the tip. You guys are amazing. I love that. So yeah, let's give Arlene some words of wisdom from Universe. And don't forget, guys, again, I'm giving away one of those yearly Insider Access Pass, the value of $240 here to a lucky winner here from the PayPal tip jar tonight in lieu of the pyramids that we usually give away in the episode. All right. So this one is for...
Okay, I'm just going to jump in here a little blind because I don't have her to see if I'm on the right track. So I'll just say what I get here. Okay. Looks like she's been dealing with someone for a really long time who she cares about the person, but they don't believe she's on the right path. So they probably think she's a nutter, like they think you and I are nutters. Like, certain members of our family think we're
They
crazy.
do?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like she has somebody around her. Feels like a male. I don't know who it is. And but she's literally been right all along. So in the past, she's been bringing the knowledge. Okay, but she's had to surrender to somebody who's literally just not buying it. So this is a younger male or just a very immature male. Is another way you could read. Even if they're not literally younger, they could just be behaving as a young soul, right? So they are actually. I feel like they're kind of a dominating type personality who's actually twisting everything to make her look like she doesn't have a clue, because actually they don't have a clue. Okay, but she's been right all along. And I don't know exactly what I'm talking about. Could it be just about the world situation, or is it about something very personal between them two? But that'll be up to her to figure out, right? So something's coming really quickly for her that changes everything and helps her really show that person that she's been right on her game all along. And she gets her, what's that word when redemption? No. What's the word when you, I'm asking the Frenchman what the word is in English. What's that word? But she will be
vindicated.
Vindicated, yes. Very soon. Very
Always
soon.
ask the French guy.
Ask the French guy, yeah. I'll have you know, Jean-Claude, that a big attraction to doing a show with you was your wonderful accent.
Well, very good. Thank you. I appreciate that.
My very sweetest sweetheart that was the one that got away this lifetime was a Frenchman. And yeah, I like him.
Okay. Oh, now I'm blushing, Janine. You shouldn't have done that. Can you show now?
Yeah.
Okay, Arlene. Well, thank you so much. I hope that helps, and I hope that makes sense to you. That's amazing. Okay, I have a galactic question here. Maybe two if we have time, but at least one before we have. We have 4 or 5 minutes left. We might be able to squeeze both of them. So this one is from the Insider Access membership on Discord. Where did he go? Carol. Okay, alien question, please. A year ago, I had a vivid dream. In it, I found out I was from an ancient people. At the end of the dream, I was supposed to get into a suit that looked like a stingray so that I can fly. Am I connected with that stingray shape UFO you guys were talking about on the show last week? That's fascinating. Carol, VB55. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yep. Say the beginning there. She had she had visitations.
Okay, yeah. Alien question, please. A year ago, I had a vivid dream. In it, I found out I was from an ancient people. She doesn't say if that is ET or not. And at the end of the dream, I was supposed to get into a suit that looked like a stingray so that I could fly. Am I connected to the stingray shape UFO recently in the news?
Yeah, so I'd say yes. And I'd also say she's had a couple of visitations, literally where she was taken up in ships like that. It wasn't a stingray suit, but it might have looked like that. I think it was a ship. She's been physically taken as a child of two different times and traveled with those people. And she definitely connected from another lifetime.
Wow.
In a good way. It's in a good way.
Okay.
In a good way. So she's had good experiences with them.
Yeah, and this is, I posted this the other day. Well, Janine and I had talked about this particular craft at the bottom part. And when you look at that forward edge there, because this is from a video, I used to do scuba diving video, and I was thinking about the stingrays, and it looks almost like the exact same shape. It's on the canyon. And I said here, UFO or underwater or undersea object, or submerged UFO. What is it? Unknown? What's the U for in UFO? Unidentified submersible object, USO. All right, there you go. Man, having trouble with my French today. Okay, where's it? Okay, JC, Solid Galactic Vision. Okay, so let's do this one. We have 2 minutes left. Let's do Christina from the live chat. JC, please ask, where are the lights? I saw galactic visitors. There were a message from me. Was there a message from me? Thank you both, Christina. Okay, so she's just recently seen lights, and she wants to know if there was a message to that, and if they were galactic messengers or visitors. that make sense to you to pull cards?
Were the lights I saw galactic? Yeah.
Galactic visitors. I think a lot of our audience are seeing those right now. I get so many emails, people talking about that stuff too.
Interesting. It does look like it was a message that was bringing something around full circle for her. So it could have brought up, so I wonder if this will make any sense, really old hurts or wounds that are being healed. So somebody was working with her, off-worlders, working with her on healing some old trauma, and getting her ready, I feel like, for a new thing she's going to follow. So she's going to have a new path, but she needed to have this healing work done. So she's being prepared, actually. So instead of a message, it was more like a healing. She's being prepared for something she's going to be doing, and she's done it in other lifetimes. And the people that came were tweaking her energetically, and getting her to remember, or her body to remember, because it's in her DNA. She's actually connected to that group that came. It's like they're relatives somehow, ancient relative. Other lifetimes she spent with them, and she knows some healing techniques are going to come in handy in the future. So they're tweaking her and getting her ready for our new world, not the new world order, right?
Wow, fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, good evening, San Diego. I'm Ron Burgundy. I try to put that one in.
I love to practice that look that she gives.
Right. You know, she's like, they have funny. Okay, so man, we're gonna have fun if we ever do that. You know, I was drinking my little Tim Hortons today, and I'm like, if I live close to Janine, I go have a Tim Hortons with her every day and shoot the shit with the local people. Wouldn't that be funny? We'd raise a hell of a ruckus in the Tim Hortons store. You have Tim Hortons close to where you are?
Oh yeah, a whole bunch.
You like Timmy's, or are you a Starbucks girl?
You know, I don't like Starbucks for a whole bunch of reasons, but I'm a Timmy's just when it's a road trip, because it reminds me, it's the only thing you can get on the road usually. So it reminds me I'm going on a road trip. So whenever I want to feel like I'm going to be on a road trip, I love road trips.
Cool. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I used to do Toronto, Ottawa quite a bit, and so of course every gas station on the highway there was a Tim Hortons on it. Yeah, exactly. All right, well, that's it for tonight, folks. Let me see what I've got coming up here. I wanted to bring your attention to this poster here. Where did you go? This one here. So we were supposed to have a wacky woo last Sunday, and Joe and I were trying to line up this very special guest, and of course we missed that date, and now it's this Friday at 8:30. And so right now it's on the schedule, but we haven't had the guests exactly confirmed. So it's a yes, they're coming on the show. We're just trying to figure out the time here. So anyways, for now, it's for this Friday night. So that's going to be October 15th at 8:30. But do please watch the channel here in the next day or so as I put out the updates for these posters. So let me go back to my channel here so you can see what that looks like. But yeah, you're not going to want to miss that one. It's going to be really, really wacky. And of course, tomorrow night also with Mariam Hanin and Denny Katz, a new guest to the show, we're going to be talking about her new book, Word Up, and she talks about the quantum of language and how, of course, we create a reality. And this is a big gripe of Janine. When she hears some things that are very negative, she kind of bitch slaps people back using the proper syntax of creation here, using their vocabulary. So I love that. So I think, Janine, you'll love this episode as well. So that's going to be Thursday night at 8 o'clock. All right, folks. So Janine and I will be back next Monday, sporting our new look and feel here for the live stream with the red jacket. So that'll be cool. Of course, it's Red October. And this weekend, of course, Janine and I will have another pay-per-view ready for you guys. Maybe Saturday or Sunday. We'll see how things goes. But I'll put up a Twitter as soon as that episode is available for you guys. Anything else on your side you want to point the audience to? Anything coming up for you, Janine? You're all good?
No.
All right. Well, folks,
my heart's still going out to Jessie. Lost her son. Things are coming out. It's pretty obvious he was taken from her, from the dark side. So lost one in the war. I mean, just horrifying and heartfelt energy towards her.
Yeah, absolutely. And everyone in the chat, please join us in sending that energy, because it could have been you, and it could still be you. Like, this war is not over by any stretch, right? So we have to take care of our own, if anything, just energetically. So sending that vote into the ether with us would be greatly appreciated. All right, folks. Before we go, please remember to like, share, and subscribe here at Tarot by Janine, and also at Sending Ravens here on YouTube. This was Tarot Readings by Janine, and I'm Jean-Claude BeyondMystic, and please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Au revoir. Bye, Janine.
Au revoir.
Ron Burgundy. Janine.
Stop it.
Bye, guys.